Hollywood has always celebrated glamour, confidence, and unforgettable performances. Yet behind the bright lights, many remarkable people spent years hiding the most important truth about themselves. They learned to smile for cameras while quietly carrying fears that few could ever imagine. Some worried they would lose successful careers. Others feared rejection from family, friends, or an unforgiving society. Their greatest struggle was never becoming famous. It was finding the courage to live as their authentic selves. Today, these 7 extraordinary Black transgender pioneers remind us that true transformation is measured not by appearance, but by honesty, resilience, and inner peace. Their journeys span fashion, film, activism, literature, and the arts, leaving behind legacies that continue to inspire generations. We begin with a groundbreaking model whose face appeared across America, until one unexpected discovery changed everything. At first glance, Tracy Norman appeared to have everything the fashion industry admired. After graduating from high school in 1969, she quietly began hormone therapy at 17, determined to build a life that reflected her authentic self. A year later, she moved to New York, where her grace and confidence quickly attracted major modeling agencies. By 1975, her face appeared on Clairol's Born Beautiful hair color packaging across America. To the public, Tracy represented elegance and success, while privately fearing that one unexpected discovery could end the career she loved. That fear became reality in 1980. During a photo shoot, a hairstylist reportedly noticed surgical scars that led to speculation about her history. Rumors spread quickly, and modeling opportunities disappeared almost overnight. Without causing controversy or losing her talent, Tracy found herself quietly pushed aside by an industry that once celebrated her beauty. Still, she refused to let bitterness define her life. She believed authenticity would one day matter more than secrecy, even if that day seemed far away. Years later, the world finally recognized Tracy's extraordinary journey. In 2015, her story reached a wider audience, and she was celebrated as a pioneering model who helped open doors for future generations. Her legacy is defined not by the silence she endured, but by the courage she carried through every challenge. While Tracy eventually found recognition in the fashion world, another talented performer spent decades wondering whether Hollywood would ever embrace her authentic self. Sandra Caldwell devoted her life to acting while carrying a deeply personal secret that almost no one around her knew. After undergoing gender-affirming surgery in 1972, she moved to New York with hopes of building a lasting career on stage and screen. Her talent soon earned roles in theater, television, and later films, including The Cheetah Girls. Audiences admired her performances without realizing the emotional burden she quietly carried, wondering whether one unexpected revelation could bring decades of hard work to an end. For more than 30 years, Sandra lived with constant caution. Every audition, interview, and professional relationship required careful judgment about what to share and what to keep private. She feared that prejudice, rather than ability, would define her future. In 2017, while preparing for the play Charm, she finally decided the time had come to speak openly about her journey. Sharing her story was not about seeking attention. It was about releasing years of fear and embracing the freedom to live honestly. Sandra's decision inspired many people who had spent years hiding parts of themselves to protect their careers or relationships. She proved that authenticity could strengthen, rather than diminish, a remarkable life in the arts. Her legacy reminds us that true courage often appears quietly, through honesty instead of headlines. While Sandra found peace by embracing her truth in the performing arts, another pioneering figure was already transforming an entire culture by creating a place where rejected young people could finally belong. Long before the ballroom community became widely recognized, Crystal LaBeija was already challenging a world that rarely welcomed people like her. In the early 1960s, she quietly began hormone therapy while searching for a life that reflected her authentic identity. Although she became known for her extraordinary beauty and commanding stage presence, Crystal understood that many competitions judged contestants through the lens of race and prejudice rather than talent. Behind every confident appearance, she carried the determination to create something better for those who would follow. That determination became impossible to ignore. After openly criticizing unfair treatment in the drag pageant world during the late 1960s, Crystal chose action instead of silence. She founded the House of LaBeija, creating more than a performance group. It became a family for countless young Black and Latino LGBTQ+ people who had been rejected by their own relatives. Crystal believed that everyone deserved dignity, belonging, and unconditional support, even when society refused to offer those gifts. Although Crystal passed away before ballroom culture gained worldwide recognition, her influence has never faded. The house she founded inspired generations of performers, artists, and community leaders who continued building safe spaces for others. Her legacy reminds us that real leadership often begins with compassion instead of fame. While Crystal created a family for those searching for acceptance, another courageous woman faced an even harsher reality, enduring arrests, violence, and imprisonment simply for living as her authentic self. Miss Major Griffin Gracie understood the cost of living authentically long before public conversations about transgender rights became more common. At just 18, she began living openly as a woman, refusing to hide her identity despite the dangers surrounding her. During an era of widespread discrimination, even wearing clothing that reflected who she truly was could lead to arrest. Behind her remarkable resilience, she faced daily uncertainty, knowing that each step outside her door carried real risks to her safety and freedom. Those risks became a painful reality many times throughout her life. Miss Major endured repeated arrests, physical abuse, and time inside men's prisons simply because society refused to recognize her identity. Instead of allowing those experiences to silence her, they strengthened her determination to fight for others facing the same injustice. She became a lifelong advocate for Black transgender women, incarcerated people, and those living on the margins of society. Her voice was never driven by anger alone, but by the belief that every human being deserved dignity, respect, and the chance to live without fear. Today, Miss Major is celebrated as one of the most influential activists in transgender history. Her legacy extends far beyond speeches or public recognition because countless lives have been changed through her compassion and leadership. She reminds us that lasting change often begins with ordinary people who refuse to surrender their humanity. While Miss Major transformed pain into powerful advocacy, another talented performer quietly pursued her dreams on stage while waiting for the day she could finally live as her authentic self. Before audiences recognized Alexandra Billings as an accomplished actress, she spent years performing in Chicago's cabaret and drag scene while quietly searching for the confidence to live openly. In 1980, she began hormone therapy, taking an important step toward becoming her authentic self. Although she possessed remarkable talent and determination, Alexandra understood that opportunities for transgender performers were extremely limited. Behind every standing ovation, she wondered whether the entertainment industry would ever value her abilities more than assumptions about her identity. As the years passed, Alexandra chose perseverance over fear. She continued developing her craft while carefully navigating a profession where honesty often carried significant personal and professional risks. By the 1990s, she decided she could no longer separate her public career from her private truth. Living openly became an act of liberation rather than defiance. Instead of allowing prejudice to define her future, she embraced authenticity with quiet confidence, trusting that meaningful change begins when someone is willing to be seen exactly as they are. That decision helped Alexandra become one of television and theater's most respected transgender performers and educators. Her work has inspired audiences while creating greater opportunities for artists who followed her path. More importantly, she demonstrated that success and authenticity can exist together without compromise. Her journey reminds us that the strongest performances are often lived beyond the stage itself. While Alexandra found purpose through acting and education, another young woman was preparing to share her deeply personal story with the world through writing, journalism, and fearless honesty. Janet Mock understood from an early age that living authentically would require extraordinary courage. She began hormone therapy as a teenager, quietly taking steps toward the future she believed was possible. At 18, she traveled to Thailand for gender-affirming surgery, returning home determined to build a meaningful life rather than seek attention. As she established a successful career in journalism and media, colleagues knew her as a talented professional. Few realized the deeply personal journey she had experienced, or how carefully she protected that part of her life. For years, Janet focused on her work instead of public discussions about her identity. Yet she also recognized that silence could leave younger generations feeling isolated and unseen. In 2011, she chose to share her story openly, not to redefine herself, but to offer hope to others searching for acceptance. Her honesty required tremendous vulnerability, but it also transformed private experience into a powerful message of resilience, dignity, and self-respect. Janet later became an acclaimed author, producer, and advocate whose voice reached audiences around the world. Through her writing and public work, she encouraged thoughtful conversations about identity, equality, and compassion. Her legacy extends beyond personal achievement because she helped countless people believe their own stories deserve to be told. Janet reminds us that authenticity can become a gift shared with others. While Janet inspired change through words and storytelling, another creative voice would challenge expectations by bringing deeply personal truth to the documentary screen. Yance Ford chose to tell stories that many people preferred to ignore, yet for years, his own journey remained deeply personal. In 2005, he legally changed his name and began testosterone therapy, quietly embracing the life that reflected his authentic identity. While building a respected career as a filmmaker and producer, Yance focused on giving voice to families, communities, and experiences often overlooked by mainstream media. Behind the camera, he carried a quiet determination to live honestly without allowing his identity to overshadow the stories he wished to tell. As his career developed, Yance realized that authenticity could strengthen his work rather than limit it. His documentary Strong Island, a deeply personal exploration of family, grief, and justice, resonated with audiences around the world. When the film received an Academy Award nomination in 2017, many people also came to understand Yance's own journey as a transgender man. Instead of seeking recognition for himself, he continued encouraging thoughtful conversations about humanity, empathy, and the importance of listening to every voice. Today, Yance Ford stands as a respected filmmaker whose achievements reach far beyond awards and historic milestones. His work reminds us that powerful storytelling begins with honesty and compassion. By embracing his authentic self, he has inspired others to believe that truth can create understanding instead of division. These 7 remarkable journeys reveal a shared lesson: that the most meaningful transformation is never simply how someone looks, but the courage to live openly and inspire others to do the same. The lives we've explored today remind us that the greatest transformation is rarely physical. Real change begins the moment someone chooses honesty over fear, dignity over silence, and hope over rejection. Each of these remarkable individuals faced different challenges, yet all discovered that living authentically could inspire countless others to do the same. Their stories encourage us to look beyond appearances and remember that every person carries a journey we may never fully see, and that compassion is often the greatest gift we can offer one another. Of all the inspiring people featured today, whose courage moved you the most, and why? We'd truly enjoy reading your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through Hollywood history, please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another remarkable story. Thank you for watching Hollywood Trainer, and we'll see you in the next video.